What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another What to Use in Weekly Heroic Strike guide. This is March the 28th to April the 3rd. Sorry this is going up a day late, I just didn't know what was happening with the resets with Age of Triumph coming out. But for the modifiers this week we have Heroic, Arcburn, Specialist and Juggler. So the two good ones this week are Arcburn and Specialist. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the weapons. So for primaries, definitely recommend using Xala Supercell. If you have the Xala Supercell, use this thing. It absolutely shreds when Arcburn is on. However, if you don't have the Xala Supercell handy for you, I would always recommend using a high impact scout rifle or hand cannon, as they are going to have a very high damage output, and plus scout rifles are very flexible in PvE. As far as special weapons go, again something with the Arcburn on it. I choose to use the Raid Sniper Rifle from the Wrath of the Machine, with it having an absolute fuck ton of impact. This thing absolutely melts through bosses. The special weapon is going to need to be something with, that's going to be really good, basically, because Specialist is on. You're going to be using a special a lot, especially when it comes to those boss fights and killing major enemies, so definitely make sure you have a good special weapon handy. A few exotic weapons that you could use are Plan C and Patience and Time, because they do have Arcburn on them. As far as heavy weapons go, again, same situation, make sure you are using something with the Arcburn modifier on it. I have this Unto Dust rocket launcher here just because it has the cluster bombs on it, so it's actually creates an AoE effect after once I've shot my rocket launcher, and tripod on there as well. 3 rockets are always better than 1, right? For exotic heavies, you have the Thunderlord and Boltcaster exotic sword. But that's pretty much it for the weapons. So for the Warlocks, again, recommend using your Stormcaller Super. This is going to be your Arc subclass this week. As far as my build go, it is on screen right now. Basically, I use Storm Grenades with Arc Web, so they basically chain to all loads of enemies around them. Super effective against trash mobs. We have Superconductor on there for increased range in our super. We've got Transcendence on there as well. So basically, when we have a full grenade and melee, our super lasts longer, especially with the recent landfall nerf that happened. Because I like to use the exotic gauntlets Impossible machines. But overall, the rest of my armor on my Warlock is centered around getting tier 5 intellect and tier 5 discipline. You're going to be wanting your super and grenades as much as possible. Anyway, let's move on to the hunters. 2, 1. So for the hunters, guys, pretty simple. You've actually got a few options this week. Now the clear obvious choice for your subclass would be Blade Dancer. Blade Dancer is okay when it's in Arcburn, but I never recommend using Blade. It's a very weak super in my opinion. The super, you have to get up close and personal, especially with certain enemies going to be absolutely shredding you with Arcburn being on this week. I just personally wouldn't recommend using Blade. However, if you do want to use Blade, probably use the Shinobi's Vow and the spam skip grenades. But the super I always use is Night Stalker. As you can see, my build is on screen right now. Super, by far, the best hunter subclass for PvE in my opinion. I use Spike Grenades just for pure raw utility. Vanishing Smoke just in case I need to go invisible and get teammates revive. Black Hole on there is a clear choice for the super. Light of the Pack, so we create orbs when we kill enemies for our teammates. Predator on there as well for decreased Shadow Shot cooldown. Definitely recommend giving Predator a go, because I always see people using Shade Step. I use Bone Surveyor as well for the increased movement speed with the increased control jump. That's just personal preference for me. I prefer the extra movement speed. Then the rest of the armor on my hunter is centered around getting tier 5 intellect and tier 5 discipline. Anyway, let's get on to the Titans. So now, last but not least, again guys, we have the Titans. You've got the Twilight Garrison is red. Anyway, I'm quite fascinated about that. I didn't realise I changed that. But anyway, for the Titan, the clear choice this week is Striker. Now, Striker is going to be your clear choice of super this week. This is my build on screen. Personally, I like to use lightning grenades, just because of the utility of them, and I like aftershocks on there as well, so they actually last longer. Unstoppable on there, just because I like to survive a bit more in my super, just so I don't get melted by certain enemies like Boomer Hive Knights. You could actually use your Defender as well, But I would definitely recommend using Weapons of Light. I would only really recommend using Defender if you're in a group, you know, if you're playing with a couple of buddies or a couple of friends of yours, and you're actually, you know that you're going to be using Bubble, so you get the most benefit out of it. If you're not comfortable with lightning grenades on Striker, you could go with flashbang grenades and use the Armamentarium, so you get 2 flashbangs. I can't get over the fact that they've changed the Twilight Garrison. But anyway guys, hopefully this gives you an idea on what to use this week. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel for future Destiny content. Thank you so much for watching guys, and peace.